Hi Facebook land, this is Roisin coming live to you from Sweden. I'm still in the sweet den, although it's turned a little cold and the change in weather has got me all snuggled up and feeling a bit under the weather. I'm feeling a little bit sorry for myself, but life goes on. So I am back here sharing the introduction, I suppose, the taster to my upcoming Kundalini Yoga, Tantric Numerology and 10 Bodies book, Embody Your Potential, which I am really excited to be launching and to be sharing. It's something that I really considered doing when I first became a Kundalini Yoga teacher about a decade ago. In Kundalini Yoga, we don't change the meditations or sets. We follow them as given by Yogi Bhajan. But when designing courses, it can feel a bit overwhelming. If we want to focus on the chakras or the 10 bodies, to find which sets and which meditations to use can be quite confusing. And I thought back then, like 10 years ago, it'd be great to do some workbooks. So I've tried and tested these, and this is my first one, focusing on the 10 bodies because I just find Tantric numerology and the 10 bodies so fascinating, to use a really simple calculation with your date of birth to come up with 5 key numbers, which are basically your tree of life, your very own tree of life, the aspects or the bodies that you chose to incarnate in this lifetime, your strengths and challenges in this lifetime. I mean, it's fascinating. Last week I posted the calculation sheet, and I encourage you to have a look at that. Like anything, I always question things. I'm not one for taking things just for someone telling me. So I've explored this, and I encourage you to do the same. For me, there's one thing being told something and following someone who you admire. It's another thing experiencing, and from that comes wisdom. So take your time, experience, find your own wisdom with it. And, I'd love to hear how you're getting on with the calculation sheet. And if you have any questions, just hit me up. I'm always happy to chat to you all. It's great to hear from you. So before we get into the protective mind, which is what we're looking at this week, the second body, what I wanted to explain a little bit about was this soul's journey through the 10 bodies. So we look at 10 bodies, and a quick recap again, we have one soul, 3 mental bodies, which we're starting to go into now, a physical body, so that's 5, and these we can kind of understand. And then we have 6 energetic bodies. And you might be thinking, well, that's 11, and you'd be correct. The 11th is the relationship with all. So I like to use the Rastafari term, the I and I. So it's the relationship between the little I, the individual, and the big I, the divine, God, whichever you want to call it. So the soul's journey, if you look at the numbers, and we're really getting into the base of numerology here. Again, like I've said to you, numerology is fascinating, and it underpins everything, like sacred geometry, all religion. There's so much you can read to develop your understanding. And one person I really encourage you to explore is Shiv Charan Singh and his study of numbers, the science of numbers, Karam Kriya. So for further exploration, that's one key route to go. But in terms of the 10 bodies, understanding the soul's journey, so we have 1, and that's the essence of you. It's your soul. And whether you believe you have a soul or not, you understand that you're an individual. You're one. You're one person among many. We get this idea. So that's the essence of you. And then as we go into 2 on the soul's journey, we go from this essence, which in essence is part of the whole. The soul is, it's not contained in matter necessarily. So we come into this life as one soul, but it's not until we move into the number 2, which, if you think about it, is like the interaction with another, that then we understand that, okay, so we're all connected, but also we're all individual. So this is what we're going to move into today, is this idea of, is it division or unity in terms of how we look at relationships, in terms of how we look at our connection with others. When we move into the soul's progression to 3, that's when we can start to find a bit more structure. So if you think of 3 sides, you can kind of get a triangle. So this is where we move into the projective mind, and the projective or the proactive or the positive mind. Whereas we're like thinking, okay, so this is happening. How can I find unity in my interactions? At 4, we find more equality. Again, if you look at a shape, you can get a square. So 2 couples, 4 people, there's a bit more balance. 5 is the halfway point to 10. So it's like the bridge, it's crossing over. 5 is the physical body. So it's how we understand, it's how we understand life. So we work with 5 senses, number 5 again. And it's also through the physical that then we can access the spiritual. So it's through the physical that then we can remember again that we are spirit, or go back to spirit form. It's also how we then access our energetic bodies. Number 6 is the first energetic body. It's the arc line. And it's also like the 6th sense. So it's deepening the understanding of self, deepening beyond the 5 senses. Number 7 is the aura. So it's energy fields, which we all really have a feel for, So we might meet someone and have a vibe that we don't like, although we can't quite put it into terms what it is. It's not that person. It's what they're carrying and how that triggers us, and so on. Then number 8, if you look at the number, is like infinity. It goes this infinite 2 circles combined. And that's the pranic body. So it's the infinite breath, and it's the infinite journey of the soul. Number 9 is the subtle body, and we're nearly at 10. We're nearly at the soul's completion. And of course, I'm not saying that we progress through each 10 bodies. We all have these 10 bodies, and some of us will have strengths and challenges in different bodies. Yet ultimately the soul's journey goes through 10. Again, if you have any questions, hit me up. This is like an intro to it all. At number 9, we're nearly at completion. We're nearly at 10. And this is where the subtleties come in. Are we really staying with ourselves? Are we going into the depth of ourselves? Or are we kind of running around in all this fun that we've had? Number 10 is obviously like the last of the 10 bodies, not including the 11, which I've explained. But if you look at the numbers 10, you have the 1 again. And the 1 is the essence, the soul. And then you have 0. So this 0 can either nullify the 1, or it can add to. So the radiant body, it can either be, showing off, or it can be exuding a certain energy that then instills belief or confidence in others. So like I said, that's the soul's journey in a nutshell. Of course, the soul has this journey through many lifetimes, and in each journey, in each lifetime, we incarnate with different strengths and challenges, which is what you can surmise from the Tantric Numerology calculation sheet, which I can post again this evening. It's no problem. So this evening, we're looking at the second body, and this is the either negative or the protective mind. And like I said, it's the number 2. So we've gone from 1, which is the essence of ourselves, our soul, which is, do you come more from your head or from your heart? And really, when you're following your soul, then you're listening to the whispers of your heart. You're listening to your soul. You're You're following your heart. When we move into 2, we move into this like, okay, so I can follow my heart, but this means that I have to interact with others. So this can either create division, or it can create a unity where we can, 2 whole units can come together as a greater unit. So I'm going to read you the intro, or what I've written about the protective mind. Again, this is all in the book. This is a taster course, and once it is released on the 11th of November, 11/11, you'll be able to buy this for yourself. It has, again, these details of each body. It has the soul's journey, and full yogic sets, meditations, pranayamas, so that you can either teach from it, teach yourself. It's a workbook. So, the protective or negative mind, division or unity. The second protective or negative body takes us into division. It's a step away from the universal whole of the soul-body position at 1. The second body also offers an opportunity to bring whole units, 2 whole people together in a step towards unity. 2, therefore, is about relationships, about reflection, emotion, and movement, in correlation with its element of water. When your soul split from the universal into physical form, an immediate longing to belong was created. And this journey back to belonging is taking place through the physical, and therefore through relationship. You draw in people and scenarios necessary for your soul's journey back to the infinite. Your soul yearns to return to its universal, infinite form. And this division creates a negative state with needs that pull you into relationships and attempt to have your needs met by another. You might be looking for a relationship to feel secure, loved, or supported, which are all aspects of a positive relationship, but they must also be found in yourself. In order to meet another as a whole individual, you must first fall in love with yourself, learn to feel, recognize, and then meet your own needs. All problems in relationship will be reflecting back your needs. The way in which people treat you will be a mirror for how you feel about yourself. How is your own self-worth? You set the bar for how people treat you. Often, your needs can be traced back to childhood or another incident in the past which made you feel like you had to protect yourself, the task of the negative mind. Any future scenarios that then trigger the hurt feeling from before, albeit subconsciously, can make you react and will continue to trigger you until you heal the underlying pain. Ignored needs overflow from the subconscious as toxic thoughts, which then pour out in unhealthy actions. This feeling of emptiness, of disconnection from our soul's longing to belong, can lead to addictions, food, drugs, drink, sex, people, all of which are used to fill the void. You could also become attached to your needs, to the drama, forgetting that needs are actually an opportunity to learn and grow and therefore return to our soul's infinite connection. All illness begins in the protective mind. When you're out of sync with your soul, when you refuse to acknowledge and work through the lessons being offered or become attached to a singular need, then blockages will form in your body. Your energy can either flow in a healthy way, moving through needs and lessons, or it becomes stagnant and unhealthy. Loyalty is a more positive aspect of the protective mind, providing the opportunity to discipline yourself with habits such as meditation, which will help you see your destructive patterns and offer the space needed to make changes, therefore aiding your soul's growth. The same loyalty can, of course, keep you stuck in negative patterns too. So, it's about relationships, it's about drawing in reflections to help you grow, to help you return, to help you work through this longing to belong. to feel unified with all, as the soul ultimately is. And what I would also like to say on top of that, we're going to move through the 3 mental bodies, the negative protective, which we're looking at today, the positive or projective, and the neutral. And these are like natural functionings of the mind. You know, we have these for a reason, but often we can get stuck in one or the other. Ultimately, we want to be in the neutral. So I think Yogi Bhajan said it was 7 seconds. Each decision, we want to tick-tock between the pros and cons, if you like, and then make a decision in 7 seconds. So the protective mind, in a very base way, it's the part of you that says, look left and right before you cross the road. And obviously we can get stuck in that, you know, if we're caught up in this, ooh, but what ifs, then we'll never cross the road. And the projective, the positive mind is the one that goes, I'm going to cross the road. I'm going there. And if we're stuck, if there's an imbalance there, then, you know, we're not looking after ourselves. We can get run over. And obviously the neutral mind is where we go, okay, there's no cars coming. I'm going to go over the road. That's where I want to go. And we'll take steps with lovely deep breathing the whole way there. It's a very base way of understanding the way our mind works. But we're complex beings, and obviously this goes a lot deeper. So we're going to go into a meditation to balance the protective, the negative mind. Very simple. And we're going to use a beautiful recording by a friend of mine, Jo Linney, or Nimrita Kaur. Can you feel the love? And I'll post the link to her Bandcamp so you can listen to her other tracks and maybe also use this one with the meditation some other time. One of the things I'm working on is to put together an album to go with the book, so that each meditation you can then have the mantra there with a specific rhythm that I have found that works for me, and with tracks that I enjoy. And it also brings the community together more. There's so much beautiful mantra music in the Kundalini community, and you know, sharing is my way. So the meditation for the protective mind, you're going to bring your hands into a cup. So your right hand, the back of your right hand sits in the palm of your left. Basically, you're putting your masculine in the nurturing element of the feminine in the left hand. So you're letting go, really. You're surrendering to what is. So you're going to sit up nice and tall, and your eyes are open. You're looking down in your cup. And you can imagine this like a cup of prayer. And you're going to inhale through your nose and then exhale, blowing out any negative or distracting thoughts, anything that keeps you locked in that protective, fear-based mentality that's blocking you from moving forward. So you're going to blow these out into your cup of prayer. You're going to let them go, basically. So inhaling through the nose, bringing to mind any unwanted, negative, distracting thoughts. Exhaling as you blow out into your cup through your mouth. So this clears the subconscious of any unwanted thoughts, any thoughts that keep you in that neurosis, that stop you from moving forward. And then once the mind is clear, then it's capable of discerning when real protection is necessary. You know, it's brought back into balance, and we can come more into a neutral mind. So, Ong Namo Gurudev Namo, I bow to the divine within. One name, the teacher, the great teacher, we are all one. Let us meditate together. Right palm in the left, Inhaling through the nose, blowing out through the mouth, all those unwanted negative thoughts. Looking in your cup of prayer, letting go. As you inhale, keep bringing to mind any unwanted thoughts, any limiting beliefs that might keep you stuck. On each exhale through the mouth, really blowing away all that neurosis, all that holds you stuck, letting go. Really bringing to mind anything that bothers you, any concerns you might have, letting it go, blowing it into your cup of prayer. So taking one last big inhale, exhaling completely and holding that breath out, locking your navel, pulling your tummy in with the breath held out, and really focus on each vertebrae of the spine, really lengthening through each vertebrae of the spine with the breath held out, a real rod through your back. Exhaling power through the mouth. And we'll do that twice more. So big inhale. Strong rod, vertebrae of the spine. Exhale powerfully through the mouth. One last time. And relaxing completely. Taking a moment to feel how you feel. So I certainly personally feel quite blissful now. We did that for just over 7 minutes. You can continue for up to 31 minutes. It's a very simple, very transformative meditation, clearing out your subconscious, clearing out that neurosis that we all get from time to time, so that you can come back into remembering that really, yes, we need to consider protection, you know, things like crossing the road. It's good to look to see if cars are coming. However, we are provided for. Everything is provided for us because we are unified, we are all one. And when we remember that all is happening for us, all is coming to us for us. This is the soul's journey, and yes, we are individuals, but we are all connected. So, yeah, of course, any questions, please hit me up. Like I said last week, there's a whole beginner's Kundalini yoga course on my YouTube channel, which you can access through my website, roshinalanakinnon.com. That will give you the basis of tuning in, of warm-ups. There are full sets on there. And then each Wednesday we'll continue to meet on Facebook Live to work through each of the 10 bodies, including the 11th. So next week we move into the projective or the positive mind. But until then, have a great week. I'm back in the UK on Thursday, and the following weekend Benoit and I are planning a Saturday afternoon tantric energy flow workshop at Ukushana. So we'll be releasing information about that over the next few days, but if you're free next Saturday from probably 2 till 6 p.m, put that in your diary. Otherwise I'll see the rest of you on Facebook Live next Wednesday. All love, people. Satnam. Ciao.